This is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I've got quite a few videos back from over a year ago now. And I ran a political campaign in 1983 to replace when Dr. Larry McDonald, he was U.S. Congressman from Atlanta, Piedmont Hospital. I had written about him in a medical malpractice book called M.D. A License to Kill. 76 to 79 and 80, the 1st of 80, April Fool Day, I had antifreeze put in me, and I should have died. The book never got published, and it's an ongoing breaking law and sheer hell. Larry Flint was shot during that time that I was writing the book. I was at Moonraker Apartments. At that time, it was owned by the Mormon church out of Utah. Prior to that, it was owned by Penthouse Magazine. Now then, it was, I guess, the only really nice apartments I lived in. But I was doing the book then. Larry Flint. I lived just off Belt Road in Marietta, Cobb County, Georgia, where so much was done to me and so much other things have happened. Larry Flint was brought to Lawrenceville, Georgia, and he was shot. He was in court, and he was shot. And they used a magnum on him. So anyway, his attorney was killed. And they don't tell all this in the movie of Flint. But anyway, he endorsed me. I was flown out there when Congressman Larry McDonald, the plane was shot down by the Soviets because it veered out of airspace into Russian airspace, the KAL, Korean jetliner, that carried McDonald. So I became a candidate, and this was Larry McDonald flew me out to his home in 83 twice and helped during the campaign, and this was an article he wrote April of 84. In which he says that I know who was responsible for his shooting. Well, I was writing about programming, mind control, and how you modify behavior, how you can program someone without their knowledge to go out and kill, either mass or one or two, or make deaths look as like they were committed by a natural cause when they're really done through mind control. Now then, I wanted to say this. I wanted to get this across. The United States, the Illuminati, or whatever you want to call the name back then, especially focused on 36 to 39. That was the year I was born. And then I was kidnapped in 41 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, and given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey, and I had Childers. I married a Childers. Both twins were killed by their mother, Lionel. And actually, the birth certificates, the date of birth, and et cetera, some of it was just marked through, which is illegal. Shows you how much power they never intended for me to live or go home. And it's the Freemasons, the Americans, and some of my own family became a part of it, the Windsors. What I wanted to say here was I wanted to really go back because 1939, so much changed. That's when Britain declared, I believe, I'm right here, war on Germany. Well, the United States had moved in. Here's my uncle who became illegal, George VI, Elizabeth's father. 1939, when so many treaties and they're planning my kidnapping. And by the way, he was in the Senate over here signing. Well, people can Google and find out and see how many colonies or territories we had back then, the British did, and what we have now. I believe there's 16 left. And this is a man that helped tear us down and kidnap me. This is President Roosevelt, my own Uncle George VI, brother to my father, King Edward VIII. King Edward VIII, this is Wallace Simpson here. American spy who married a double. That's not my father. My father was legally wed to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, American, Irish. Georgia O'Keeffe, the artist, is my aunt, my mother's sister. And I don't have a picture of my mom. I do have one of this woman who's carried it on, the selling out of Great Britain. My, the truth would be enough if the truth were told to tear it all down. She's a traitor, and she should go before a world tribunal, a court. She's the worst criminal there's been, her and her father. Anyway, a 99-year seal was put on my father's really demise, what they did to him, and the whole thing a lie, and on my birth. And my uncle helped do it. Joe Kennedy, JFK's father, was ambassador appointed by Roosevelt. And that's when so much changed for Great Britain. I put this, since I wrote the book and tried to get it published and had the antifreeze, and that's not all. It's been daily basis what's been done to me in plain sight here in this country. But I wanted to, in other words, when the United States implanted their own queen or their own monarch, George VI, and illegally took out my father, all the treaties are illegal. My father was the real king. I am the legal heir, Victoria II. I sure haven't signed any treaties to give away Great Britain to anybody. I'm a hostage here in this country. Always have been. I'm Brit. I don't know where my sons, Mark and Scott, who are heirs, and they are British. They had to be born here. I'm a hostage here. You tell me how they could be born in Great Britain if that is used. They come up with all kinds of stuff. But the thing is that when George, the illegal six, signed the treaties, he allowed the United States to put its military bases on everything British and hold us hostage, and then therefore it gave them a launching pad to Norway, Denmark. I could go on and on. And now then it's global. They go in as your friend when in reality they started the whole scenario. They orchestrated from the beginning, the United States and the Illuminati. And part of it obviously is my family, the Windsors, some of them. So they made Great Britain fight against itself. They formed NATO, and all this is formed about the time of my kidnapping and right after, so much treaties that are illegal. But NATO really started out, my family, Norway, Denmark, the Brits, Germans. Back then, they made us hostages then, so that you had to join NATO. It became like a protection racket. You even join them, you either join them, or like the mafia, they'll come in and wipe you out. They give you protection service. And all the time they're using you to global domination, which, by the way, they have, and Elizabeth is a member, Charles and Obama, and I could go on and on, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers that control the media. But I wrote in my book, if I can get this on here, and I'm not going to, about Emory University and Center for Disease Control. And I've put it on before any of this started, about 5 or 6 months ago, about the CDC. Does it work for you, or is it just part of the agencies? And they did, the AIDS virus and all that, and the Ebola. But now then the Brits, Americans and Brits, troops are being sent to, ISIS, which the United States started the whole mess. Brits are being sent to Africa to help contain the Ebola. U.S. Center for Disease Control in 1978, that's when it supposedly started. And AIDS started and developed by the Center for Disease Control. Now, I told all this, but then you can Google. So they're sending the UK, they've made slaves out of it. There's no other word. There's no colonies left other than 16. And I'm getting sidetracked, and this video won't finish. But the Caribbean, for instance, Jamaica, Honduras, Bermuda, do we still have it in the Virgin Islands?